first of all, just in general, how have you been holding up, Paul? How have you been getting through this time?
Truly, I think that the majority of us have been so lucky. For me to complain would be really ungrateful for what I have. So for me, it's just been an inconvenience and really just a cognizant mindset to try to keep from getting this horrible illness. The thing that makes this illness so insidious is that you don't know what you're going to get. One person gets the sniffles and another person horribly dies. So I've taken it very seriously and made sure that I've been safe. So my kids have been doing school from home, and that's been going really well. And other than that, it's a big world out there, and I try to ride my bike 25 miles 3 times a week and not complain. There are people who are really struggling or devastated by what's going on, and I'm not one of them.
Yeah, well, you've always managed to have this great positive attitude, and I've read your work and even talked to you many times. I know you're always a positive guy, and you're always like to impart that positivity to others. And that's part of what you've done in the band. That's part of what you've done as an artist, a solo artist. So how important is that for you to bring that positivity to others, especially in a time like this?
I think now more than ever, we need to understand how much we need each other. And if I can be some sort of light, and God knows I'm not preaching, I'm just trying to let people know what philosophy has worked for me. And if somebody gets some inspiration from that, it's twofold. It's a gift to them, but the gift really is to me, because when I help other people or when I'm a part of someone else's success, it makes me feel great. So I try to remember that on its worst day, life's a miracle.
And speaking of miracles, we get KISS in the middle of all this major announcement that KISS fans in the world is excited about. Put into words what we have to look forward to in a few weeks.
New Year's Eve in Dubai, we will be broadcasting a pay-per-view, which will be the biggest concert ever. I mean, by that, I mean, technically speaking, we're looking to break all kinds of records with the Guinness Book of World Records. They will be there. We'll have $1 million worth of pyro. So you may be able to hear it without even tuning in. So we'll be playing all the great songs that people have come to know over the years. And we're in fine shape. We're ready to go. And I think all of us could use a little vacation from this reality. It's great that we can see some light at the end of the tunnel, but nobody should fool themselves. We're not there yet, and everybody needs to be careful. We certainly over there, when we're doing the show, are fully aware of all the measures that are in place for us and the crew to make sure that everybody is safe. It's interesting when you see politicians talking about canceling going out and what you should or shouldn't do, and suddenly they turn up at restaurants. We're not doing that. We're staying safe. We're being tested. The people around us are being tested, and we will make sure that everybody has amazing memories of New Year's Eve this year, because quite honestly, there's going to be a dearth in terms of entertainment on television, and we want to shake the ground, rock the heavens and do what we do best. And it ain't a crime to be good to yourself. We could certainly enjoy and deserve some sort of vacation from really this, at its least, it's tedium, and at its worst, it's a death march.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you guys like to work. How great it is to be working and also employing others. This is a great thing for you guys as a band. It's a great thing for probably the hundreds of people you're employing to pull this thing off.
I am thrilled for me to say that I've had 9 months off now. In one way, it's been great to be home with the family, but there's another part of me that misses a big part of who I am and have been for my whole adult life, and that's an entertainer. So New Year's Eve, it's time to entertain, it's time to rock, and it's time to take a little break from what's been going on. We're all we're tired of it, but that doesn't mean it's over. It's always interesting when you see people who say, "I've had enough of this." Well, the virus doesn't listen to that. You know, the virus is going to decide when this is over, and thankfully, there are vaccines coming close to being distributed. But until then, we need to be safe. And while we're being safe, let's have a great time.
When you're up there on stage, even in rehearsals, talk about the feeling you get out there in front, singing Love Gun, singing the hits. How does you at this point, in the midst of all this, it must be a healing thing for you.
It's life affirming. And for me, it's so much a part of who I am. Interestingly, some performers can't stand being home because really they live for that adulation. Thankfully, I've got enough at home and enough great friends that it's just part of a big picture. But to be up on stage is a feeling of omnipotence. It's just nobody can understand it. If you're on stage at a festival, let's say, and you have 150,000 people directing their energy at you, it could knock over a wall. It's palpable, and I thrive. Look, some people are very uncomfortable in front of a crowd. That's really where I'm at my best. That's really my habitat.
You'll be saying goodbye to 2020, but not goodbye to Kiss. Talk about what this means then for what's next. How have you let yourself think about resuming the tour, what the next chapter will be for the band?
We are in the midst of the end of the road tour. We realize that we can't be who we are forever, and that time impacts everybody. You can play beat the clock. Ultimately, the clock wins. And while we're at our best, and the reviews and the fans will speak louder than I will, that this is really the greatest show we've ever done. And proudly, we can go out there and have a victory celebration. It's kind of like that victory lap where you run around with your hands up. We're much more fortunate than some because when things see their demise or when people are gone, we find ourselves saying, gee, if I had only known, I would have done something different. And in this case, we're saying this is it. So we really get a tremendous sense of intimacy from a large crowd. And we all get to touch base with something that's meant so much to us and so much to them. So it's very reciprocal. The word would be reciprocity.
And on your own personal level, in terms of your own music, your own art, you always have a lot going on. How busy are you with that at the moment? And what can we look forward to with all that stuff?
We just finished our Soul Station album, which is my 15-piece band. And we do all the great Motown, Philly soul, Stax Bolt songs. Everybody in the band has played with everybody from Whitney Houston to Frank Sinatra to Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson. So that's been a work of passion for me. And that's done. We just shot a bunch of videos. Again, did it very safely and looking forward to getting that out. It's awesome. That really is so much a part of who I am because I like to say before I ever listened to all the British greats or Led Zeppelin or any of those people, I was lucky enough as a kid to see Otis Redding. I saw Solomon Burke, I saw the Temptations, and that music is really in the foundation of what I do. So Soul Station is something I'm really thrilled about, and I think people will be pretty amazed at how good it is. We do all the classics, and we do new tunes. So there's some new pages in that book. And other than that, painting has been a astounding success for me in the sense that it seems to resonate so much with other people. And whether it's serious collectors or people who've never really felt comfortable going to a gallery, I want people to understand that you don't have to have an educated opinion to have an opinion, and you don't have to justify your opinion to anybody. If you like something, that's what makes it good. Same thing with food. It's so simple. Good food you swallow, bad food you spit out. It doesn't matter how anybody else relates to it. So art has been like that for me, just telling people, look, just the fact that it gives you pleasure makes it valid. And if you don't like my art, by God, go buy some paints and brushes and do your own. You can.
Sure, sure. And lastly, just going back to the special, you guys were responsible for amazing TV specials back in the day and cutting edge back in the 70s. Just talk about how things have grown. If you can look back at what those days were like, and at the time, you were cutting edge, everything you guys did, from even Phantom of the Park, I thought was, at the time, blew everybody away. People joke about it now, but that was monumental in so many ways. I'm sure fun for you guys as a band.
Well, Phantom of the Park was kind of a strange time for us because to this day, I'm not quite sure what that story is about. If anybody can tell me what the ending means, I would be very thankful. But that aside, we've always tried to think things up and then find somebody to make them possible. I don't think it's any different than when we were in school. Some kids were drawing sports cars. I was drawing stages and amplifiers, and let's have 20 feet tall of this or that. So to this day, the difference is there are so many people who are capable of turning those fantasies into realities for us. Look, all kidding aside, you can't go see a concert band or act or stadium act and not see a Kiss show, because Kiss is in the DNA of everything that's done nowadays, and proudly so. So it means that whenever we go out there, we have to do something that is very much and very innately us. And certainly between the End of the Road tour resuming and New Year's Eve is going to be the End of the Road show on steroids. It's massive. The stage is massive. The fireworks are, I mean, $1 million worth of fireworks gets you a whole lot of firecrackers.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.